Okay, good evening, everybody. It's 6 o'clock. Let's call the meeting to order. We have a quorum. And we're going to go right to our old business minutes from our August meeting, August
So
13th.
moved.
We have a motion to approve by Mr. Ike. And Lois says second. Thank you. Okay. Comments, corrections by anybody? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Okay, motion passes. Thank you. All right, new business. I just wanted to thank everybody involved with a very successful ribbon cutting ceremony last month. And my list of thank yous include Mayor Long, Deputy Mayor Harrington, who is now Mayor Harrington, India Rogers and Brian Wolf and their whole staff. And we have Elizabeth and staff. Thank you very much. Of course, our DPW couldn't have done it without them. All of their help. Big thanks to Downs for providing refreshments. Appreciate that. And maybe the biggest thanks to Anika Noni Rose, who made it really very special in her presence and her words. So that's all the thank yous for that. So let's go on to Downs' report. We got Anthony and Bob Sessions is here with us.
What's going on, everybody? All right, let me get started. Same agenda as usual. Everything's a little shortened here. We could go over. Am I sharing it? I thought I was sharing it already. Maybe not. Good catch. Good catch. Good catch.
Share it, please.
Before I go too far along. All righty. All right, same agenda as usual. Obviously, for the last what do I call it? 2 years, maybe. I think we've been meeting. All right. So construction general update. We have Van Zelm finalizing all the commissioning requirements. We did get an updated field report today. MJ Daly, our mechanical subcontractors on that, correcting any deficiencies that they see on that report. Soon to be, I think after this final report, we'll have one final commissioning walkthrough and one final review and the letter of compliance for commissioning after that, which is a big plus. Prosser update. We're working on the certificate of occupancy items required by the building official. Items that have come up above and beyond our contract scope of work, above and beyond the contract documents, added exit signs, added emergency lighting on backup battery inverter systems, so on and so forth. So we're working with Dwight every day on that. We have a list that's included in our master list of those items that we need to achieve above and beyond the standard scope of work that we had. So we're working through that. We're getting that done with our subcontractors and coordinating it accordingly. We've had multiple meetings with Dwight to make sure that we're not missing anything. We could get this list done as quick and efficient as possible. TSKP has been involved extensively in some designing of the additional requirements that Dwight is seeing and he needs to be completed. We're working on finalizing some security items and some door hardware sets that might need to be swapped out and changed. But we're in the right step forward, and that kind of rolls into our completed punch list. The last time we met, we had about, I think I miscounted last time, we had over 100 items. Now we're down to about 65, which is an all-encompassing list of items from the DPW, from Elizabeth and her staff going through the building, from the architect, ourselves, anything that we see. With that being said, you know, this I like to call it a master list now. It's not even a punch list. It's a little bit of punch list. It's a little bit of additional work required from the building official. It's items that might be malfunctioning, breaking, not working properly, which I like to call a warranty period, a warranty adjustment. So subcontractors need to come back out there and fix and swap out and change things. So, I want to move away from the punch list talk and use it as a master, let's call it a master completion list of items, because there's so many different lists that were compiled into this one list. Like I said, from the DPW, from Mark, from Elizabeth and her staff, from ourselves, from the design team, so on and so forth. So I like to start calling it the master completion list. Warranty items, if a toilet's not flushing because the flushometer is broken, it's a warranty. It's not a punch list. It's a warranty item. So it's a callback to our subcontractors who had given us their emergency contact list, to get in touch with them, to come out there, work with the library staff in their operating hours to make sure, we're not inconvenience anybody on their side or the DPW side. So there's items that are coming up, and I just want to put that out there that we'll call this moving forward a master completion list. All right. And the same thing goes for Riley. Riley's obviously not the building, but there's exterior punch list items that we have with our site work contractor, Richter Segan, put together, so on and so forth. If one of those charging stations is malfunctioning, that's a warranty item. That's a callback. It's emergency callback and a service call. So we'll start moving on that terminology moving forward, if that's okay with everybody. But anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I just want to, I did send an email out last week to Downs, and most players were copied on it regarding the punch list. And I just wanted to emphasize some priorities with the punch list. Number one being, which items are the path for us to get the full certificate of occupancy? So since I did ask for that, our building official did send out his list, no new items on it, but just carve out those items that he wanted completed in order to get the full certificate of occupancy. In the meantime, he has extended the temporary certificate of occupancy through the end of October. That date was based on input from Downs in their estimate of what it will probably take to get the materials and labor and so forth to finish all of those items. Okay. So the first level of detail here was, how do we get our certificate of occupancy? The second one was, what items are critical to getting and keeping our insurance in place and moving on from builder's risk insurance to the standard policy that the town has with all facilities. I don't have that specific list of items, that carve out from it. I think we're going to need more help from Sharon GH on that. There is no rush, the builder's risk insurance is in place. But I think that's important. We need to know what are those items, as opposed to cosmetic items. All right. And then the third carve out of this list is, what items are holding up the library staff from continuing to get the building ready? What is on this list that's keeping the building from opening to the public? And I think that one, I don't have that list either. Hopefully, Elizabeth and staff can help us identify, what among these items are keeping us from finishing and getting the building open to the public and operating. And I know there are items on there. So, apart from cosmetic things, I saw those three carve outs as really, really important. And I think we need to keep working on that so that we understand what the priorities are here. Those are my comments on the punch list. Other comments, Bob?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I happened to be in this building today and ran into the building inspector, Dwight, who said to me that he's enjoying working with Downs on this project because the conversations are pleasant. Everybody's civil. Things that come up that he sees, there's no fighting back on what they're doing where there's a disagreement. They're coming forward with cogent arguments. And, he's been very happy working with him. He said, as far as he's concerned, things have been going very well. I did want to relay that.
Thank you. Lois?
I'm a little concerned about the building official.
Get your mic up.
A little
closer.
concerned about your comment that the building official has extended the temporary certificate till the end of October. Does that mean we think we won't have it open for the public before then?
Our TCO that we are under right now allows the public in the building.
To use it
It does-
normally as a library?
As a
Yes.
intended use.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, we're not limited in that regard by the building official. Okay. Patrick?
Yes. Let me borrow that thought. Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Yes, well, first, I want to say to Anthony, I totally agree with your renaming of the punch list. I think it's time to
Yes.
do that. We need to move away from having a punch list. I mean, of course, we want 100% completion of all things, but I like the new approach that we're going to take. Second, Mr. Chair, I love what you just did with the carve outs. I think that's great. And I know that the library desperately wants to have their soft opening. They really do. And in another meeting as trustee, I had asked if Elizabeth and their team could come up with almost exactly what you said. What is preventing them from doing their soft opening, which would be limited hours. It would not be their normal hours because they're still, trying to learn everything about the building, trying to get everything in place, making sure that everything works the way that it can and all their processes will work. So if they have limited hours, which we're allowed under the TCO to have daylight hours, the schedule that was proposed by Elizabeth and Allison and Chris included limited hours starting next week. Now, I don't know if that next week is possible, but I suggested as soon as possible. So if Elizabeth can come up with, as Mark suggested, what are the things that are holding them back? And if Downs could prioritize them along with the other items, and maybe you could, get working on those things so that we could clear them up and allow the library to open, knowing that they still have other issues that you're working on, but they're not the top priority. So even if there are people in the building working, they'll be able to work around that. And if an area has to be closed off, they just don't allow the public into that specific area for whatever reason until it's complete. And they'll be able to, Elizabeth and her team are awesome and they're very flexible and they're, as you've said and they've said, everybody's working together. So I just wanted to, raise that. And hopefully tonight we could get answers to the things that are preventing the staff from going to that soft opening, which they definitely want to have. Thank you.
Thanks, Patrick. Elizabeth? No, who's got a hand up? Glenn?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm not sure if it was on the building officials list or not, but I mean, one of the main items is just access to the library right now. I think that's kind of holding up the public from using the facility. So when we've had previous rain events and even this past weekend, the sand on the pedestrian bridge is washing out from in between those pavers, and they're recessing about 2 inches along the whole edge of the bridge. And so that obviously creates a hazard for the public. And we've got the threshold that's still sticking up, causing a tripping hazard. I don't know if that was identified on
Yes,
Dwight's list
yes.
or if it's on the master completion list. But I haven't seen correspondence as far as a fix. I don't know if there's like a Sikaflex material or some type of bonding agent we can use on the edge of that to prevent the sand from washing out. But those sunken pavers present a tripping hazard to the general public.
Right. And yes, that is on Dwight's list. And I know that the design team and Downs are brainstorming it. figure out the best approach to that.
Okay, and then Matt Childress and myself, Matt more than I, has been over there meeting with contractors. I did invite him to the call and he is online this evening. If he's got any weigh in, I know he's been working with Sonatrol and the access controls and the cameras. From what I understand, most of the cameras are online at this time. They just need to be repositioned. I am not sure, however, about the current status of access to the building. I know myself, I don't have an access card. I don't know if users at the library do. But I don't know if all the automatic doors are working properly right now.
Good evening, everybody. This is Matt Childress, Facilities Manager. No, like Glenn stated, the biggest problem we have right now is the access control. You know, we still have ADA issues. There's handicap doors that will not work with the push button ADA buttons. Our cameras, although they might be online, nobody can view them at this time. Like, you know, they have to remote in through the switch with a laptop, so nobody can view those. We're supposed to have a 55-inch viewing station that nobody has found. We don't know where that's at yet. We also have I receive numerous calls every night with a certain zone that goes into alarm, and I've been working with the Sonatrol vendor because we can't figure out if the door is physically opening at night or if it's just an alarm being triggered. But like last night, for an example, I received alarm at 10:38. I received alarm at 12:02. I received alarm at like 1:45 for the same door in the same vestibule. So, you know, we definitely have ongoing serious issues like that.
There
And
was also.
And the
an alarm response.
notification, Matt actually gets phone calls in the middle of the night for these zones. That's how we're set up to be alerted. So he'll receive a phone call at all these hours. And that seems to be coming from the east or main vestibule off the plaza. So we're not sure if it's the intrusion alarm, like the motions, perhaps the range is too strong, if it's picking up any action outdoors, even lights from vehicles at night in the intersection or a passing pedestrian. We're not quite sure what's going on there yet.
But do you feel like you're getting support from the proper trade people on these items?
Well, when Sonatrol's been working with me, the issue is it's Stanley Door, Sonatrol, you know, they got to work hand in hand. So Sonatrol has basically done all that they can do. So they have discovered that the S2 system and Stanley don't work together. So the issue is now he doesn't know if the Stanley alarm is triggering, which does not go through the S2, it reports straight to the security panel, or if the door is physically opening and breaking the contact either way. So right now, basically, we're waiting on Stanley Door to solve this issue.
And you guys at Downs are involved with this?
Yeah, I mean, I think this has been an ongoing issue. I know a lot of the issues were some compatibility issues as far as what the original design of the hardware was and being compatible with the security system. So I know that they're working through a lot of those bugs. I was unaware of this last issue that was just mentioned, so we'll certainly follow up on that and
Okay.
we'll get an answer to it.
Yeah, Matt and Glenn, please make sure, you know, Downs is aware of these things too, especially when it's multiple vendors involved. You know, get them all on the case immediately rather than going through the first one and he goes, not my problem,
Yeah.
you know? So I think that would be a help,
Yeah, for sure.
you know, make sure you
Well-
get everybody possible involved in the soup to begin with.
Well, we've been trying to keep everybody involved. I mean, I reach out to Jason daily. You know, we have a chain of command that we've been following, you know, trying to keep everybody in the loop and,
Good,
you
good,
know.
good. Good. Yeah, I know Jason's been, remained involved in whatever's going on, so. All right. Yeah, I mean, this is, there are problems with new buildings and they just have to be solved one by one. So thanks for your patience. Elizabeth,
Yes, thank you, Chair. So one question that I wanted to get answered had to do with the builder's risk insurance. So the builder's risk insurance will cover us opening even with remaining ADA issues?
Joe Maraca is nodding his head in the affirmative.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. As far as concerns from staff with what us moving forward with saying yay to those opening days, I would say the top ones are about access and security, making sure that those cameras are functioning properly, and that the Public Works team has full access to them and understanding of how to use them. I'm also hopeful that we will get the bridge issues remedied so that there are no trip hazards on that bridge and that we do not need to worry every time there is a weather event that could impact that bridge. Also, the door leading from the parking garage up into the building. I'm hopeful that that door will be ready to go. Currently, that is the main way for handicap accessibility. And is there a functioning button on that door yet?
No.
I don't know, you know, that door is being reversed in swing. It's getting all new hardware. But I have a question about that. Would it be possible to just hold that door open during hours that the library is open?
You mean have it in open position the entire time?
Yes. I don't know that that can be answered right now, but I throw that out there as why not? So, you know, it's always
That's
meant
an
to be.
interesting solution.
It's
Yeah,
just
that
meant to
could,
be usable all the time, in and out, while the library is open.
and it's in a covered
And
area.
yeah, and we're not worried about heating or cooling in that ramp area yet. So, you know, I throw that out as an interim solution. Hold the door open until until we have all new, everything there. That door's been a big headache with everybody, design wise, code wise, access wise. I just as soon rip it out and forget about it, but no, we need it as a secure point at night. But
That is a possible solution though.
okay, all right. Well, if between our designers and code people, if that can work, then that would eliminate one thing in the interim.
Okay, and then so beyond the security and the ADA issues, I guess my last thing would be anything that's very visibly not correct that would create customer service situations with my frontline staff. So an example of that is, for instance, right now, the elevator is still beeping communication failure all day long. There is still a hole in the wall right when you walk in the main reading room. So anything that's very visibly could be addressed, that would be my third category. And that again, as we saw with the ribbon cutting, you know, people are coming into the library for the first time and they're going to have their feelings. And so anything that we could temper, and I know that the master completion list is going to take time to get done, but those are the types of things that I would prioritize. Another question is the dehumidifier machines that are currently placed throughout the building. What's the timeline on them? Is that are they all going to remain once for how long are they going to be in the building?
We don't know. The engineering team has been diligently working on getting rid of them. So they've been come up with a new sequencing for the rest of the mechanical equipment that has to be, you know, implemented and tested to make sure what they're thinking is going to work. And the goal is to get rid of them all as soon as possible. So yes, I think that would be nice if they were gone. Elizabeth, if you could, you know, make a specific list of that last category you talked about for Downs,
Okay.
you know, and just
Yes.
say, hey, you know, the hole in the wall, that, yeah, that'll be helpful rather than leave it up, you know, subjective, thinking.
Okay.
That would be good. That'd be good.
That hole in the wall.
Um,
Utility box, it has no cover on it.
Seems a cover plate, you know.
I believe that was for.
Okay.
something to do. They did.
What else, Elizabeth? Are you,
I want to just give Chris and Allison a chance if there's anything that we would want to put on this top items to take care of before we open list.
yeah, and you don't have to be complete tonight with this. I mean, by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning would be fine. Tomorrow, tomorrow will be fine, but, yeah, we're glad to hear if you have other, critical things now that you wanted to discuss.
I actually
Chris-
just
Chris
have
or-
one quick thing, and it's just really just a reminder to everyone, especially as we're moving closer, is there's a bunch of stuff, I believe it belongs to Downs or another contractor right by that garage entrance. It's even blocking our book drop. It's garbage bins and all kinds of things. So just a reminder that we got to get it out of there before we open.
Great. Hey, Chris, regarding technology, is there any need to bring D'Agostino in for even additional time to get all the technology up and running? Because if there is, just say so, and we'll get them here if we need them.
I don't think so. Actually, I was corresponding with Nick today on a couple of items with the tech. The AV is happening still, but it's close. It's happening every day. They're getting a little bit closer. There are a couple. There's one outstanding issue I want to talk to Jason about. I think he's aware of it. They just need something drilled. But it's coming together, and I just put out a feeler to see when we're going to get training on all of it as it falls into place. So I think we're okay as far as that's concerned at this point. Most things are getting close. The cameras were put online. There's just some repositioning and then access for us, the lighting controls, those types of things are coming together. It's just, the final pieces and the final handover on some of it. But that would be great. If I do see anything where I think Nick could really be helpful, or Mark, I'll let you know, Mark.
Okay, great. And is Allison with us?
Yes.
Yes, and I would say a couple of issues, the family restroom door. It appears that is once again very heavy. I think what I heard is it had the correct closure, but that has broken, so it's very heavy and difficult to open. And then on a related note with the restrooms, I understand what Anthony's saying with it being a different type of service call, but the toilets continue to have, my understanding is it's called backflow. It looks as if it is completely flushing everything, all the material in the bowl, but then it doesn't, and it spits up chewed back material back into the bowl, and it requires 2 to 3 flushes every single time. And not only do I think it's a public health concern, but again, if you're not careful, we know that it does that, and we're very careful as a staff using the restrooms. The public is not going to realize it, and it's going to leave our restrooms looking not fresh. And I think that I think our public is going to be upset by that as well.
Yeah, that is obviously unacceptable condition.
There is one note to make about that, though. From my understanding, and we've looked into this quite a bit, it's because of the LEED certification of your building. They are low flow flush toilets, and it's one of the side conditions of that problem. So we've looked into it. We will continue to look into it and see if there's another viable option, or to see what our options are. But my understanding, it's the same thing with the hand washing. Allison, I did see that on your list, that it's 2 seconds and you don't really have sufficient time. That's all part of the LEED certified fixtures, that you have to just keep moving your hands underneath it. It's all in an effort to reduce water waste. And that happens with your low flush toilets as well. I know it's inconvenient. And again, we will certainly look at it, but from our perspective right now, it's not a functionality problem. It's a design as far as like how these fixtures are supposed to operate. So we will continue to look into it, and we'll keep everybody updated.
I'm sure there's a level, a level of degrees here.
Right. Sure.
To make it function properly and meet the LEED requirements. So I'm sure there is. Other hands up?
Yeah, if I could
Yeah.
just say something, just touching on what Allison just said, the issue is, it's not, I don't believe it's the low flow toilet issues, or it would be every toilet, because every toilet in the building is the same, but it's not every toilet that does it. So that's why I believe it's more of a venting issue than it is anything, but that's just, we can leave that up to the experts. But one of the questions I had regarding these answers is, does anybody from Downs Construction verify when these jobs are completed on the punch list?
Yes, we have to verify it and we have to close them out accordingly. Yes.
But who's on site that reports the work being completed?
So it depends on the actual situation, but we either have somebody that's on site while this work happens. It's very rare that we want to have somebody on site. And if we can't be there for whatever reason, then Jason typically doubles back. We've had Johnny Downs also come back, but typically it's Jason Smith who comes back, walks the building, checks the items on the punch list, verifies it's been complete, and then closes the item.
Okay, because there's been issues that, we say is complete, just like, if I could say, like the elevator call button, that thing's been making, the communication has been beeping on that elevator for a long time, and then we thought we had it fixed. But I verified the other day that it does not work. So like, I don't know who checks that off or who verifies that, but we verified that it doesn't operate.
Okay,
So
well,
that's just an example.
we can certainly check into that, Matt. It was one of those things where I was there at that meeting when Jason actually called the elevator company and called the communications and verified right next to you actually that it was working properly. So
Well-
if it stopped working, then obviously we'll check into that and we'll get it rectified. I know I've been in that building many times and I haven't necessarily heard the beeping going off. So if it's going, it's probably an intermittent problem and we'll certainly address it.
All right, you all set, Matt?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other hands up? All right, oh, Patrick,
Yeah.
second time.
Sorry about that, second time. I know, I just wanted a quick follow-up. So in regard to Matt's question about someone on site, in an example that I've heard, if a subcontractor comes in and approaches library staff about work to be done, what are they to do? Because it's not their responsibility to manage any subcontractors. So,
Nope, agreed completely. Yeah,
Yeah,
so if
so-
anybody goes in there, first of all, no sub should be there without us being well aware of what's happening.
okay,
Second of all, they've all been provided with a punch list sorted and dated as far as like what their tasks are to be done and completed.
okay,
If they have any questions, they should be reaching out to either Jason Smith, myself, Anthony Mosa, whatever it is. I'm a
Okay.
floater, so I go between. So nobody should be there and relying on library staff.
okay.
And
All right, because-
my understanding is that, anybody from Downs, Jason or Johnny or you guys, if you know somebody is showing up or some work is going to get done, that you do in fact contact library staff and coordinate, make sure that the area is available, make sure it's a proper time to be doing it and all that. So there should be no surprises on site, somebody showing up.
Once in a while, I'm sure you'll get a subcontractor that goes rogue, that doesn't let anybody know, and will just show up randomly, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Who's got a hand up? Elizabeth?
Elizabeth, yeah, we do have those rogue subcontractors, but at the same time, we're so happy when they're there to get work done. So we continue to work closely with Downs to make sure that that can all happen accordingly. My next question is, I know Mark put the categories out there, and one of them is operational stuff. And eventually we are going to get a certificate of occupancy, and we're going to be able to run evening hours, which will mean we would like to have evening programs. So I guess my other question is, as our staff plans way ahead of time, when do you think we can start planning evening programs where we'll be able to shut down the area of the building outside of the community room, meaning that there will be a card reader in the elevator?
Right.
Do we
Well,
have a
right now
timeline for that?
yeah, right now that October 31st date is the best estimate. And I think as items get crossed off the list, that'll get updated, because there's some, estimates of when materials are actually gonna show up, like that door that we talked about, when, when is all that hardware gonna be available? How long is it gonna take to get all the electrical work done for the added emergency lighting? So there are estimates at this point, so October 31st is that best estimate right now.
So would you say it would be okay for us to start planning evening programs in November?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Great, thank you.
Everybody from downstairs is nodding their head yes too. So,
Get it going.
good. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's let Anthony move on because we're still only like halfway through the first page.
Are you sure this isn't the first project committee meeting that we've had? This is a
You
kick
see
off the
what happens
job.
when we wait a month?
Let's go back to
No,
2
this
weeks.
is all
4
important
weeks. I
stuff.
would be all for every 2 weeks at this point.
I'm all good with it.
Well, it's not like the committee's actually doing the work, right? But if we need special meetings, we will have special.
We'll get them going. A lot of information.
Go ahead.
There's
Go ahead.
a lot of stuff gets completed within a month, that's for sure. All right, let's go on to section B, our favorite topics, money and potential change orders. And we're coming down to the end here, everybody. August 25th, looking for approval on our August 2025 requisition in the amount of $397,164.76.
Motion, Mr. Ike
Second.
moves to approve, second by Mr. Berman. Any questions? Comments? All right, all in favor of approving application number 26 in the amount of $397,164.76, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you. I see we've got about $1.5 million remaining in retainage.
Yep.
And so that means there's about another $500,000 of work related or so.
Right.
Payments.
Yep.
Okay.
Very, very, very quickly, Anthony. I
Yep.
presume there's nothing at Riley because you didn't mention Riley.
Oh, other than punch list and completion list items, that's
What is-
the master list. Thank you, Patrick.
What is there at Riley?
Some site work items that we need to look at with Richter Segan.
Okay.
Asphalt, so on and so forth. Yep. Right. All right, next, I'm looking for committee approval on our GMP PCCO number 20. This was PCOs that were approved at the last committee meeting a month ago in the amount of $24,298.
By Mr. Ike.
Second.
Second by Mr. Berman. So this includes PCOs 102, 112, 122, 134, and 137. Questions? All right, hearing none, all in favor of approving change order number 20 in the amount of $24,298, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you.
All righty, want to give a quick budget update. Everybody there has a hard copy here, has a budget update that we recently put together. But I just want to hit a high point right here. A quick contingency update. In our CM contingency, we have $189,954 remaining. I just want to say, once we get to the PCO section, these numbers are updated with the PCOs that are found below and the pending PCOs. All righty. Owner contingency that remains $73,439. And then we have in our allowance log, our allowance update, which our GMP allowance established with Bloomfield. We have $56,564 remaining. And then our contracts with our subcontractor, which we incorporate allowances within their contract to be used. I have $416 remaining. All right, and that's updated with any pending that I might see in the foreseeable future with some subs as we start to close out their contracts and reconcile any cost, any tickets, or any potential additional work that we come across with the building official, so on and so forth.
Okay, and I think Bob Berman, you totaled those up, didn't you?
Yes, I did, Mr. Chair. And that total itself comes to 483, 373 before we subtract the shortage at McMahon.
Right, we're gonna get an update on McMahon.
Right, when we get an update on McMahon. Because McMahon right now is running a small shortfall.
All right, thank you for that. Questions on that? Lois?
Does that include the PCOs that we're dealing with tonight?
Yep, so all those,
Subtracted those already?
so all those contingency updates have been adjusted per the PCOs below, so it's all encompassing. Yep, no problem.
Okay, Anthony?
All righty, let's keep swimming. All right, some pending PCOs that have come about that, you know, we're looking at and reconciling and try to make go away with our subcontractors and negotiations. We have PCO 120, we had to provide an aluminum plate to get to the right ADA compliance out there at the porch. I have a $7,500 budget from our Miss Metal subcontractor, still reviewing that with him accordingly. PCO 132, we had the added area of refuge per the fire marshal. I have a $15,000 budget in there. Waiting to tally up the T&M work that was involved with net services. And then I have PCO 140, which I have, and I beg to differ with Manafort on this one, the remobilization charge for resequencing of paving. So back in last fall, we wanted to put the binder course down and get all that paving complete, you know, so you could have a nice clean site. Mud, you know, it just goes a long way when the paving was going to come up in the summer. Our original schedule showed it following being completed later on in the springtime, doing a binder and a final top coat on Riley. But we wanted to have that completed on Riley, knowing all the work and all the soil stabilization that we had to do, so on and so forth. We wanted to get that paved and completed, you know, and buried as quickly as possible. So right now, we do build in our subcontracts and our scopes of work that the subcontractors do own multiple mobilizations for them to complete their work, and we're allowed to adjust our schedule accordingly. So right now, I'm fighting that fight, but to be as transparent as possible with the whole committee team here, I just wanted to show that cost there. So that $39,000 or $40,000, let's say if it went away and I made Manafort eat that, that $73,000 that you see on the owner contingency side would be above surplus of $110,000. Okay, so that's just something I want to talk about again. All these numbers, I want to be transparent and open as possible with everybody now that we're coming down to the end here, and we're going to start financially closing this job out and crediting back allowances as we see fit. But I am looking for this next section, my favorite one, official PCOs for approval tonight. Looking for committee approval, some good ones. This closes quite a bit of stuff that are open on my end, so on and so forth. But we have PCO 35B, which is the plaza entrance modifications. This is the landscape portion of this. This was signed off a few months ago. I just missed it in my crazy amount of emails that I get. That has been vetted and reviewed. Again, I'll put the caveat out there that has been vetted and reviewed by all design team and their consultants. We're looking for approval on 35B in the amount of $4,667.
Motion moved by Mr. Ike,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Berman. Questions? Patrick?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a quick question. So all the dead stuff, has that all been replaced? Because last time I drove by there was a lot of dead.
Sometimes that dead stuff could be revived somehow, but again, we've put EDI, our landscaper, on notice,
Yeah,
right? They
a
do
lot of
own,
dried stuff.
they
and-
do own watering. They do own the warranty period that's
Okay.
required.
Okay,
I'm gonna leave it up to the professionals. I don't have a green thumb myself.
Right.
My house plants die, so cactuses
everything-
die. So you're not a good person to ask. I'm not.
This is separate from
It-
any,
it's all still under warranty. Yeah, I understand. This is for the modifications to the entrance, but
Yep.
yeah, my concern was the things that aren't looking so good.
other questions on the PCO? All right, all in favor of approving PCO 35B in the amount of $4,667, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you.
All righty, moving on. PCO 109B, this is Part B to original PCO that we got approved. This was the state modification that we got at the garage ramp railing modifications that we had to do. This is some masonry work that needed to be completed to route out the CMU block to create enough hand space per code. That's down at that door that we always talk about, 004B. So we had to basically take that railing off, route out the CMU brick, and replace the handrail back on. But majority of the cost is masonry at this point. So I'm looking for approval of $3,328 to close that work out.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Berman, seconded by Mr. Ike. Thank you. Questions? All right, all in favor of PCO number 109B in the amount of $3,328, please say aye.
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 Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you. That
All
work
right.
was nicely done, by the way.
Yeah, they did. That's tough work. PCO 113, we have our relocation of the split system AC1 to the roof due to that size and piping run. We worked our magic here with the entire team of the design consultants. So we have a cost just for roofing of $3,435 to complete that work.
So moved.
Second.
All right, moved by Mr. Ike, second by Mr. Berman. It's 113. When I know I have it in my pile.
You need it?
This was submitted to the committee twice, once in Joe's initial email and then again it was revised and sent out again. That's why I can't find it. I know I printed it out.
Do you need it?
Hold on.
Is this 113?
Bear with me one second. Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is the updated one. Yeah, so this now reflects only the costs of the re-roofing to us.
Correct.
So we thank all of the tradespeople and the design team helped as well to get everybody to do their work again. The roofing work is brand new work. Questions? All right, all in favor of PCO number 113 in the amount of $3,435, please say aye.
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 Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Passes. Thank you.
Mark. Alrighty, PCO 121, exterior lintel color change. We painted the exterior steel white at the lintels. We wanted to enhance the project. TSKP came back, and Taisu and Jeff. They wanted to paint those lintels from white to a color that matched the cast stone. So we have a cost there for our painter to go around the whole entire building, go around and paint those exterior lintels that were painted white to a color match of the precast in the amount of $2,155.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Ike.
Second.
Second by Mr. Berman. Questions? Okay, all in favor of PCO number 121 in the amount of $2,155, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you. Next.
All right, we're moving on. PCO 124, which is an additional column enclosure modification at the wall at column line 4 due to the tight tolerances with the glue lam beams, the glue lam trims, the drywall. We had our mill worker redo a column enclosure at one of those column posts due to just the tight tolerances of the design details to make it aesthetically more pleasing. We are applying RCM contingency to this item, so there's going to be a zero cost to the project. So we're looking for a motion to pass PCO 124 for the rework of the column enclosure, the one column enclosure at column line 4.
We have a
So
motion
moved.
by Mr. Ike,
Second.
second by Mr. Berman. Questions? All in favor of PCO number 124 in the net amount of 0, please say aye.
Aye.
Nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Next.
Right, PCO 128. missing glue lamp trim on the second floor above the porch balcony. So as we all know, the original bidder that was bidding the glue lamp trim pieces and the structural glue lamp timbers dropped the bid. We reached out to South County, who provided a cost for the glue lamp structural members only. We wrote a change order after the fact for the glue lamp trim pieces, the panels, the 3-inch wide, the 3-inch thick cover panels, trim panels. Looking at their bid breakdown of that change order and what they quantified, they missed that one panel over the porch. So this work is for furnish and installation, the product from South County and delivery to the site and installation by Desco. So we have a change order for that work that was missed originally in the amount of $5,707.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Ike, second by Mr. Berman. Questions? All right, all in favor of PCO number 128 in the amount of $5,707, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you. Next.
Keep swimming. PCO 131. This is a stone, a guardrail at the stone wall on the front plaza there. Per the building official, we had to add a guardrail, aluminum guardrail that was painted white. So this work is for the fabrication and installation of the aluminum guardrail, as well as painting it with a high performance coating in the amount of $6,467.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Ike. Second by Mr. Berman. Thank you. Questions? Lois?
How long is the guardrail?
I don't even know off the top of my head how long that.
3 feet or 18 feet?
No, it's not
It's
18.
closer to 3. A lot
Closer to
closer to
3.
3.
See, what number was this one? Actually, I have it on my computer. Let's see. 131. 131. Everybody can see the screen?
It's a custom piece. It's like a highly custom piece. I know, it hurts. There it is.
So you're looking at 6.5, 5 feet with the custom pickets and the high performance coating, drilling and doweling and epoxying into the top blue stone, the stone cap on that retaining wall.
Doesn't it turn also? Doesn't it have a return to it?
It has a
on one
return
side?
on that side as well, yes.
So it has the down pieces as well as the,
That-
Yeah, the sloped, yep,
thank you.
right on.
Other questions? All right, all in favor of PCO number 131 in the amount of $6,467, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you. Next.
All righty, PCO 133, this is the additional request for miscellaneous electrical and data location work. One area was within Elizabeth's office. You had the Friends of the Library and some miscellaneous fire alarm work on the outside per the fire marshal request. So this is a combination from our Tel Data subcontractor as well as our electrical subcontractor in the amount of $10,468 to complete this work.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Ike. Second by Mr. Berman. Questions? All right, all in favor of PCO number 133 in the amount of $10,468, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you. Next, boy, we are really clearing off your desk here, aren't we?
Yeah, it's all coming here. PCO 135, additional community room acoustical wall panels. We had some damage that happened, during the course of construction. We had the replacement where we don't know who created the damage or how it happened, but I'm applying this cost to RCM contingency, so it's a net cost to the project of $0.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Ike. Second by Mr. Berman. Questions? All right, all in favor of PCO number 135 for the net amount of 0, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. you. Next.
All right, PCO 136, shimming of the acoustical wall panels at column line 5. That's on this, this elevation over here, closer to Tungus Ave. With the tight tolerances, we've messed around with this column line 5 with the acoustical wall panels, the brick, everything be sitting flush. It's very hard detail to achieve without having to shim out the acoustical wall panels a hair. So for that whole entire column line 5, Noble had to go in there with CT Sealing Solutions, shim out and add shims to the cold form framing and the wall framing out there to make sure we get those tight tolerances. Again, this was an unforeseen existing condition, and we wanted to make sure we're hitting the TSK details correct. Again, this is an item that we're applying to our CM contingency. Net cost $0 to the project.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Ike, second by Mr. Berman. Thank you. Questions? Mr. Berman.
Thank you, Chair. Just a comment on this. Any of us who went in there while, before this was done and just took a look down that whole set of columns, you would see wide variances in how far out parts of I don't want to call wall panels.
Steel and brick,
Steel
really.
and brick and wall panels were, it's just no way to figure out how to do something simple on it. And, you know, I was talking with people there and shimmy it's the only answer.
Right.
And to shim it, each column had to be shimmed individually.
Right.
There's no general shimming. You couldn't make, you couldn't say two columns the same. And even each column had to be shimmed differently on one side versus the other side. So it was a laborious process. Just so everybody knows, this was not a simple job.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Mr. Berman. Other questions? All right, all in favor of PCO number 136 in the net amount of 0, please say aye.
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 Nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you. When we build this building again, I don't think we could avoid this item, but I think we'd probably put an allowance in.
Allowance
for
in
it.
there. How about that?
Right. Which you sort of did.
It's a CM
That's what the
contingency allowance,
contingency is for, right? Okay.
Good call. PCO 138, this is a credit, everybody a credit, like I said, of the AWI and the refinishing of the circulation desks. This has been going around with OACs on site, meeting with Jeff Brown, with Tai Sue, with our millwork subcontractor. At the end of the day, you know, it's very subjective. Some people think the wood's okay. Some think it needs to be fixed. But at the end of the day, we negotiated with our subcontractor with a credit of $12,000 coming back to the project.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Ike.
Second.
Second by Mr. Berman. Questions, comments? Mr. Berman.
Thank you, Chair. Whose contingency does this go back into, or did it go back into?
It's going into yours.
Good, thank you.
It's already there in the numbers, right?
It's already there in the 73.
Yeah, thank everybody for negotiating this. Just so everybody knows, I mean, these are not structural issues. These are not safety issues. This is an aesthetic of the wood grain patterning and stain finishing of the wood, along with some regulations that they probably had to put out some dollars for AWI standards, which they did not put out. So, you know, it's an administrative thing, really. So get the $12,000.
This went back to owner's contingency?
Yeah. Okay. Other questions? All in favor of PCO number 138 for a credit of $12,000, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you. Getting down there, Anthony.
We're almost there, everybody. Just bear with me. PCO 139, community room light fixture painting for PR 25. Tai Sue came out one day on his excursions. He went through the building, caught these light fixtures. They came in white. He wanted to paint them the same color as the wood out there. So Tai Su and Jeff Brown put together a PR to paint those community room light fixtures, the white surrounds, and the boxes that they sat in to match the wood. We have a cost there of $2,623.
We have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Moved by
Hey, Sue gotta
Ike.
pay. Hey, Sue gotta pay. Where's Ty? He gotta pay.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Ike, second by Mr. Berman. Questions?
He's busy there photographing, trying to get, more
Oh, look at
photographs
that.
for the awards ceremony. He's just living there basically trying to.
Right.
Good man.
When Taisu said we need to do this, I kind of rolled my eyes a little bit, but I have to say it made a really big difference in that ceiling.
It does
I mean, the wood really pops out now. It's those fixtures were very, just distracting from, I think, the real beauty of the wood. And now it's really nice. Other comments, questions? All right, all in favor of PCO number 139 in the amount of $2,623, please say aye.
Hi.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you, Tai Su. Next.
PCO 141, building official request for additional exit signs and swap out of exit signs per the base contract. So this is one of those items that we talk about, the building official and his list and items that he comes up with, even though we've, what's the word I'm looking for? Completed the contract document work, right? So he wanted exit signs with the wheelchair logo on them. So we had to swap out all the exit signs that we originally put for base contract in there with this upgraded sign. It's a custom piece. There was about 7 or 8 locations where this work needed to be done. So this is the furnish and installation of the exit signs being requested by the building official in the amount of $7,330.
We have a
So
motion.
moved. How come Ty didn't come up with that when he designed the job?
Second by Mr. Berman. That is a good question, Mr. Ike. I think this is, it's one of those interpretive code items. That's how I would put it. And we have been, any new code items, or I should say, items brought up by our building official or fire marshal have been questioned by our design team. Some have gone away as a result of the questioning. This did not. So I think it falls in that perfectly gray area of some interpretation by our building official, which he totally has the right to do.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Other questions? Lois?
I basically have the same question. And I want to understand, you keep saying, Anthony, that it was not included in the base contract. Does that make a difference to us? We're just paying this amount, but it doesn't change our contract with you or our expectations of you in any way. Is that correct?
Right. So for instance, the drawings have the lighting schedule, the lighting fixture schedule calls out for a special serial number for the exit signs, right? We've installed those per the locations on the drawing and per the lighting fixture schedule. Now, when Dwight comes in and does his inspection, meanwhile, we've had our code reviews at the beginning of the project to try to hammer out all these issues from day one, but sometimes things don't get seen or some things get missed. There's just a bunch of information that just gets translated through the course of construction out there. So this is just one of those items that he caught at the end of the day after we've, installed what we were supposed to per the design and TSKP. And again, they did due diligence. The exit signs were there. They were spec'd out and everything, but this is just, again, one of those above and beyond items that the building inspectors, they could come up with at, any given time.
So
Jeff,
I
Jeff,
can say a little bit. Basically, we follow the code. We position them. We have our lighting consultants. Everybody does it. In the code, in the NEC, there's a different section that says the local jurisdiction, has final say always. But when we're bidding, putting drawings together, we have reviews. The code officials, the fire marshal, everybody had a set of all the drawings. Everybody signed off on them. We even had a code reviewer sign off on them. Then what happens is Dwight or somebody comes in and says, well, I can't really see it from over here in this quarter. So I'd like another one over here, or I'd like this moved over here. So when they're in the space is when things start to drive everybody crazy. So, and local jurisdictions are different all over. Some are more lenient, some are very, very strict. So, and then we had to do drawings or show where the casework was, where the shelving was and everything, because they were just concerned nobody's going to see the signs. So from our position, you know, Anthony's correct. We did follow the code, we did everything accordingly. And we followed the 2021 IBC and all those pertinent codes back in the time when we actually put this project out to bid. It's now 2025. So they're trying to do their due diligence, which I understand, to make sure that they are better than the 2021 code. So there's a little bit of that going on too. So believe me, I mean, I spent hours, Dwight, every time I talked to him, he goes, Jeff, I got to always bracket an hour or 2 hours with you because, you know, it takes that long for our discussions. And he goes, but I appreciate it because I learned something from you. And I said, Dwight, I learned something from you too, but we all have to understand that there was a certain set of reviews that happened that everybody signed off on, and we're willing to work with you within reason, right? So it's been a struggle with Downs and all of us, but I think we're all working together to make it less impactful, let's just say.
Lois, was your question addressed?
But this is the total cost of that. We're not going to
Correct.
pay more for design or more for installation.
Correct. This is it.
This
This
is
is
the
final.
all and end all of that item. Yes.
It's not like the soils, I promise.
Other questions? All
I
right,
just
all in
had-
fa-
oh.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Elizabeth.
I just had a question. So this was for additional signage. Is this also to replace the signs that we had with the wheelchair image?
Yeah, it's a combination. Yes.
So the signs that we have, do we get a credit for them for returning the ones that were not going to be used?
With the handicap logo, like a
The ones
restocking
that-
fee on the ones that we installed.
Yes, the ones that we are not using.
I mean, I could definitely track that. I don't know how long ago Custom Electric ordered those exit signs and if there's a period of let's call it a restocking fee or a usage fee, because honestly, those have been up, installed and on and electrified for quite some time. So it's something I could check into for you, Elizabeth, and the committee here. But my guess is probably not, but we could turn them over if you guys need the use of them anywhere in town. If that type, turn them over to the DPW as attic stock if required, if needed. I don't know if that's something Matt or Glenn, you guys could chime in on. I have no problem, turning that over to you guys if we can't get
I
them
know,
back.
Anthony, you're usually on top of any credits we're owed.
Right.
But it is a good question. Unfortunately, if we had known about it earlier, but, we got to give some leniency to our authorities here. All right, so you can work with Glenn and Matt on that.
Yeah, I just gotta see where they are if we still have them. There's some work I gotta do on my end. Right?
Other questions? All in favor of PCO number 141 in the amount of $7,330? Please say aye.
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 Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you.
All right, last one. PCO 142. This is some miscellaneous drywall repairs, some blocking, some additional work through the course of construction based on some changes, some field directives, some field modifications that we were required to do. This is all through the reconciled T&M ticket process now that I'm going through and making sure that I didn't miss anything financially on the T&M ticket side. But anything that happens to come up, we're applying RCM contingency to. Again, zero cost to the job. We're looking for approval on PCO 142.
We have a
So
motion
moved.
by Mr. Ike, second by Mr. Berman. Questions? All right, all in favor of PCO number 142 in the net amount of 0, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you very much. What else you got for us, Anthony?
I'm done, I promise.
Done?
Actually, you know what, one thing, Matt and Glenn, that 55-inch monitor for Sonatrol, when we had our meeting, I thought they were supposed to deliver it and set it up in the office over there.
Yeah, that's correct. That was to go in Matt's office, but we
Okay.
haven't seen it yet.
We haven't seen it. I'll push Fran to get it over to you guys, okay?
All right, thank you.
While we're in this meeting, I already sent that email out, so I'm waiting for a response.
All right.
Any other final questions for our Downs construction manager? Joe?
In the ceiling of the community room, when you first walk in from the hallway, if you immediately look up, there's a whole bunch of wires that are strung across. All the rest of them have pipes that they go through. These are like 4 or 5
That's the
wires.
front of the room,
Yep, right in front.
low voltage wiring.
Yep.
So is that from is that from the communications vendor?
Yeah, I don't know exactly
whose
what
wire
it,
is.
you
No
know,
idea, I just noticed it the other
but
day.
maybe, Chris, can you take a look at that and see if which vendor? It's not neatly done. It is above the ceiling, but it's, you can see it there.
Yeah, I'll see if it was Soundstage or if it was someone else. I thought it was there
Yeah.
before them, but maybe not. I'll at least ask them.
Yeah, if you can identify, whose wires those are, and then we can get on them to, kind of neaterize them.
And two, everything above that ceiling is painted, right? So if it's
Yeah, they're blue, blue low voltage wiring, so. Okay. Anything else for Downs? Okay, thank you, guys. All right, so let's move to, we got Glenn and Matt from DPW.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I just have a very brief update for Wintonberry Library. Yield Construction, which is the subcontractor for Millennium, has completed the canopy footings at the east entrance. They've mobilized and are now working at the west for main entrance. Today I stopped over and they have all the rebar formed. It's doweled into the existing foundation. They have the forms boxed out, and tomorrow around noon, they're going to be pouring those forms, and my third-party special inspector will be on site as well. With that being said, the sidewalk should be poured at the west entrance mid to late week next week. And following on the heels of that, I've got Structures Unlimited coming down on September 29th to install the actual canopies, beginning at the east entrance facing Blue Hills Avenue. In addition to that, we have our final drawings and plans from landscape architecture, and we're working on the bid package that we're going to advertise within the next couple of weeks, and that round of work will take place in the spring.
Okay, questions for Glenn?
Yeah, Glenn, quickly with regard to the canopies, let's not forget about the lighting. I reminded Rob Tierney to touch base with you too, to make sure that we're going to get some bids on the lighting.
Correct. Yep. And I'll make sure when the canopy structures come in, all the pre-drilled holes and everything are followed as per the drawings. And yep, I'll get some prices for the uplighting.
All right, other questions for Glenn? Patrick?
Thank you, Chair. Hey, Glenn, I was just wondering, do you have any pictures by any chance of what the canopies are going to look like?
The only pictures I had, your best look right now is the conceptual renderings. What they have is just prefabricated aluminum stacked up in the warehouse. So I don't have any, it's not like the pedestrian bridge where it's all kind of put together and delivered in sections. It's literally piece by piece in a warehouse, unfortunately. So I don't have anything for you, Patrick.
And pictures of the foundations going in are not very exciting either.
I saw that.
So
Oh, I've got plenty of those pictures, but I won't bore you with those details.
the holes in the ground or.
I saw him in person. I saw him in
Okay.
person.
On the concrete.
Yeah, stay out of there, Patrick.
I was going to jump in one.
All right, and Glenn, thanks for the budget update. That did get distributed to the committee.
Okay.
So appreciate that.
Yeah.
And we will be, once we get those bids in on the remainder of the work, we'll do what we need to do to, infuse money into the budget
All right, can we just,
if necessary.
Necessary.
if necessary, what do we have now for a good round number, to work with at McMahon?
You mean, Prosser contingency that can be shifted over? Is that what you mean?
Correct. Yeah.
We're at about $480,000
Okay.
of contingency overall. And there's probably bound to be a couple more surprises, but
All right.
let things go. But yeah. Lois.
I hope that the community is hearing that number because people have come to me and said that the project is way over budget. And I really hope that the community knows that we are well under budget. And I would thank Bob for making sure that those us around the table know that. But I hope it's distributed more widely because we heard it from 2 different sources last week. That the building looks beautiful, but it's way over budget, which is not true.
Not true. Not true.
By this update.
Glenn, did you want to go over the TSKP amendment?
Yes, so I just have one proposal for additional services from TSKP tonight, for the committee's blessing. Do you mind pulling that up, Joe?
Working on it.
Let's find that.
Working on it.
That's,
The amendment.
from Victor and Segan.
Right, that's the backup. Yeah.
All right, so this proposal for additional services, it encompasses additional scope on the exterior renovations, including the reconfiguration of the paving, the entire existing parking lot. So we changed it up from the old handicap parking spaces, completely new layout. We added the pergola, musical play instruments and boulders, along with fencing and miscellaneous landscape details for the children's garden. So it was an expanded scope of work, in the amount of $6,600.
So moved.
All right, moved by Mr. Ike, second by Mr. Berman. We did negotiate this down from something north of $9,000. And so I think this ended up to be a fair amount for the work relative to all the work they've performed already. Other questions, comments? All in favor of the amendment to professional services for TSKP in the amount of $6,600, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you. Let's see. Do we have bills, McMahon, any McMahon bills that we could hit now with,
We have a.
or are they all,
We have anything from TSKP?
I have TSKP for Prosser.
whatever, we have a Prosser bill.
At TSKP Prosser.
We were just doing Glen Garrity.
Right.
We haven't done TSKP.
Any furniture or equipment or anything, or is it all Prosser that we have?
No, I don't have any further invoices or anything.
Okay, it's all Prosser. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. All right.
So I have a small bill there that was an old McMahon back order on a tech thing. I don't know if you want to do it now or later.
Which one, Chris? From
Yeah.
WB?
Yeah, CDW actually, G.
I don't have a CDW.
Oh, you don't have one from them?
I don't have one in the mix,
I don't
nor did I
see
send
one.
it out.
All right, my bad. I thought that was part of the mix. We'll get it next time.
Never mind. Anything else for Glenn then?
I have 2 things. Glenn, did you mention about the ADA button being added?
The restroom door closer? Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's being added for the restroom. Mhm.
And then the other thing I wanted to mention about McMahon is we did have some feedback that wanted to be passed on to the library building committee from a member of the public, being concerned about the cafe tables that are sit on the sidewalk at the Blue Hills entrance. This comment was received via social media. And if you look at the tables, if you're actually there in person, they are quite a distance from the Blue Hills Avenue. And they're placed where they are partly because they look very welcoming and inviting there. Two, there is a bus stop near there. And I guess the feedback from the member of the public was, you know, could we put a boulder or some other safety feature to protect people sitting there? So again, in my humble opinion, I'm not an expert on these things. The tables are far enough away from the street, but I did let them know that I would pass that on to the committee.
Okay, thank you. Honestly, speaking for myself, I'd rather not react to social media comments in general. But glad to hear you don't think it's an issue. All right, anything else on McMahon?
No, that's all I have, Mark.
All right, thank you, Glenn. Let's go to Jeff.
I don't have much
TSKP.
tonight. I don't have much tonight other than I think 2 or 3 lead things I gotta finish up for Prosser. And I noticed in Procore Downs has gifted me about less than a dozen, I think, O&M manuals and things, submittals I gotta review. So just trying to keep those, turned around as much as I can. Other than that, I think Taisu keeps getting excited about the photography at Prosser. He's going there at different times of the day and night, taking photos, coming to me and saying, "Oh, I think this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. Can you have Downs turn the lights on at a certain time so we can get a better photo?" So he's just all over the place with this building. So I've never seen him like this before. So, I'm sure we're going to submit this for some awards. We just got an award for another project that I did design-wise down in East Greenwich. So he's, I think, in this little boy competitive mode. He wants to make sure that he gets an award too for the Prosser Library. So,
Great. Yeah, well, please keep us, appraised of,
oh yeah,
what awards he's seeking, and also if you could share those photographs.
oh yeah,
with,
definitely. And he's asked me to
Town
come.
Hall.
He's asked me to come and because I have a certain sense for that too. So I'm going to get in there and both projects, especially McMahon, because that's a project that I think has just come out of, just pure will of the library staff and everybody on this committee and everybody. It's just something that we all loved and we wanted to make sure it was equal to Prosser. So I'm really excited about those canopies and the lighting and what the effects of the garden going to be on. So I'm really excited about both projects, but especially McMahon now. So, but I'll get over there and photograph them both. I like to submit McMahon as well at some point. So.
Great. Questions for Jeff, Lois?
That's what I was going to say. I think the combination is very interesting for other communities to learn about how you can do both at once and do something wonderful in both places. Somebody also said that this is Taisu's last building. Is that true?
Yes, he's only coming in a little bit now, and when he handed this off to me early on the process, he said that he thought I was the only one that could do this one. So I was thanked him, but also, was wondering what I'm missing out of this picture. So I think it came out really good. So I think it's definitely his last one, and he really cares about this one, a lot. So I think it's one of his favorite ones he's done.
Well,
So,
you
and
do too, and we're grateful for that. Thank you.
no, what I love is just the fact that, and I've always said this, but you don't really feel it or really experience it until it's done. But just the subtlety and the reduced nature of his work and the relationship of the light and the space and its conversation it's having with the town green and that church. I've never really felt that with that plaza and stuff. And every time I go there and drive by, it's just like it's not just a building, you know, it's something that's extending into other experiences, which I think is always great. That's what architecture is about. It's like a good book. When you get into a good book, you can't put it down. It's always giving off something, and you're, you know, looking over here, you come back. Every time I go there, I see something new, whether it's a light in a certain way or the green, you know, and the relationship of the church. So, or even the bridge. I mean, it's one of those moments that you can't really, I mean, the famous architect Louis Kahn always talked about this immeasurable experience of this space. I mean, there's certain things that you can explain and talk about, but there's other things where you just, it's all about spirit, not in a religion sense, but it's something that you can't quite define, but it fills your heart and it makes you feel joy. You know, I guess I can't put it in words, but it's something like that. Anyway, I'm talking too much. Sorry.
Perfect analogy for a library building, a good book.
Love that. A good
Right.
book. Yeah.
Love it. Okay, other questions for Jeff? All right, thank you, Jeff. Let's go, our owner project rep has pretty much retired, although I still see he's vetting invoices for us, which is very good. So let's move on to invoices. Joe, what do you got for us?
Several.
Joe, you're on mute. Yeah.
Not saying anything yet. Give me. All right, first one we have from Atlantic. This is from the technology package that we quoted out to them. $2,500 for this specific one.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Ike, second by Mr. Berman. Questions? All right, all in favor of the Atlantic invoice in the amount of $2,500, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you. Next.
Next one up. Connecticut Communications. 2250.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Ike, seconded by Mr. Berman. Thank you. Questions on this? This is,
These are part of my end user
Telephone.
package. These are phones.
phone package. Okay. All right, all in favor of Connecticut Communications invoice in the amount of $2,250, please say aye.
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 Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you. Next.
Next, I have Meyer for 1376.95.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Ike, second by Mr. Berman, our moving company. Questions? I see approved by
Yep.
Doug at Colliers. All right, all in favor of the Meyer invoice in the amount of $1,376.95, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you. Next.
Next up, we have TSKP, $2,500.
So moved.
Right. Moved by Mr. Ike, second by Patrick.
Second.
Thank you very much. Questions? Patrick?
Yeah, just a thanks, Bob. Just a comment, Chair. I believe this, and Joe, this now looks like this will close out this phase of work because everything appears at 100% based on this invoice. So is that correct?
That's for Prosser.
Does look that way for Prosser, and
Yes.
then we just have the man one that we just approved a minute ago. So that was for.
Yeah, the other was me.
Yep.
Yeah, no, this does,
Thank
this
you.
does bring Prosser to 100%.
Wanted to know.
Questions? All right, all in favor of the TSKP invoice in the amount of $2,500, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you. Next.
Okay, WB Mason for 3110.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Ike. Second by Patrick. Thank you very much. Questions?
Joe, is this the one we're gonna?
No. Nope. Nope.
Okay.
All right, all in favor of the WB Mason invoice in the amount of $3,110, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you. Got two more WB Masons.
Yes, well, yeah, but we have another one from WB Mason for 3276.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Ike. Second by Mr. Berman. Questions? All right, all in favor of the WB Mason invoice in the amount of $3,276, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you.
All righty.
Another WB Mason.
Now, this WB Mason is for $33,900. However, Chris and I have issue with this one that we discovered today. So Chris, you want to expound on it?
Yeah, I think we might be on the wrong one.
Well, this is the one that has those mobile things.
Right, visually, but it's the largest one, and they reissued a bill we had carts that were delivered wrong. They sent us a second bill, and it was sort of duplicating it. Plus, I wasn't sure about the cost, so I think we're gonna hang tight on it. Joe, hold off.
We've decided to hold this one off.
Yeah, we'll resolve it and bring you a cleaner invoice.
All right, it has not been presented.
And lastly, we have soundstage for the AV items.
Yeah, and I
Change
can
order.
explain this
Not
one.
an invoice, this is a change order.
Correct. So I just want to kind of confirm what happened. This happened in two different places. One was in the pillars when we were trying to do the speakers for the intercom, and then the other place was where we had conduit that kind of dead end. This was supposed to go from the conference room upstairs down to the AV room, but the conduit sort of dead ended, and with the ceiling in the community room, there was really no way to now run this cabling that we needed. So the workaround by the designer and the AV vendor was to put a second system in the conference room, and that's what this change order is for. It added a rack and some equipment, as well as some more Cat 6 cabling and the labor to do that. So that's what this change order is. It is, I'm not sure exactly where things went, awry between design and implementation, but this is the solution they came up with.
Okay, we have a motion to approve.
So moved.
By Mr. Ike, second by Mr. Berman. Questions? Mr. Berman.
Thank you, Chair. Chris, says to a new rack location. Where's the rack location?
Yeah, so what they did is there's going to be two racks in the building. One is going to be in the AV room, and they swapped out the bigger one that they had, the $1,500 one, and put in a smaller one at $600. And then there's going to be another rack in that conference room itself. It's on wheels, and it will serve the conference room's AV system.
And I see a credit for that one they took away.
Yeah, there's a credit for the bigger one.
All right, so we got credit for 1,500, but we're spending 600 and 1,490.
Correct. There was going to be one single AV room rack that was 1,500. There is now a different AV rack in that room that's $600, and there is a second AV rack in the conference room for $1,490. Just the way they build it out.
plus the labor to run the cables.
Well,
And then, yes, the additional,
Well, my question is, apparently what, there's a bigger rack going in the conference room than in the AV room.
it is actually bigger. It's,
Why?
I don't know exactly why. It's a little bit more like a piece of furniture. That might be why. It looks a little different. The one that is in the AV room is kind of squat and it's tucked away. It's not a visible piece, whereas this is going to be visible. So I think that may have something to do with it.
Okay,
And it's on wheels.
okay, that was, okay. Where in the conference room is this gonna be? In a corner?
Yeah, it's in a corner. Yep. It's going to be in a corner, kind of tucked away. I mean, it kind of similar. I think the room you're in, I think, has something like it, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah,
It's,
Yeah, we've got a piece of furniture in the corner
Yeah,
with
when you
lots of
Yeah,
walk,
lights
it's-
flashing.
so we walk into the conference room. It's gonna be on the
the
far
far
left,
corner. Far corner. Yep.
far left corner?
Far left corner. Yep.
Okay, as long as I can visualize it, okay, thank
Yep.
you.
You're welcome.
Other questions,
So what is the,
Patrick?
what is the actual cost of the change order? It's not clear to me. It's a plus in mine.
2190
Oh,
in
it's
the
over
middle.
there.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not-
I was
it's
looking-
kind of in the middle there.
Okay,
I
got
could have
it.
said the amount. I'm sorry about that, Patrick.
That's okay. I see it now.
So-
Thank you. Yeah.
Other questions? All right, all in favor of the soundstage systems change in the amount of $2,190, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Question for Joe
Mr. Berman.
on that. Uh, Is the cost of that coming out of our contingency?
No, it'll come out of the budget for AV.
We still have money in the AV budget
Oh, yeah,
on top of contingency.
this is nothing to do with contingency. This is straight from the budget, right from the budget for AV because we were underspent on that.
Okay.
So we need to include
So
that.
we have so in addition to what we show for contingency, we have other potential funds available, correct?
Yeah, because we came under on FF&E,
Right.
we came under on AV. So that, yeah, there's other stuff that's got to be reconciled by, at the end of all this.
Okay, we'll get Scott on and you together.
So there's a good potential chance that we're gonna be, right now, we're looking at somewhere around under $500,000 under budget. It looks like we're gonna be even more under budget at this point.
At this point.
Right, that, all I'm looking at is this point. Thank you.
Okay, let's move on. Any other items from committee members? I see no hands. I see a hand. Patrick.
I would just make one last comment, Chair. Thank you. So I'm just really, really hopeful that based on the priority list that we have now for the master list, that any items that we could consider showstoppers by Elizabeth and her team that will prevent them from moving forward with their plans for a soft opening can be rectified, and that everybody will work together to get those things done so that Elizabeth and staff are able to open the doors and let the public in on a limited basis until we get our everything else ready. So,
Amen.
thank you.
Elizabeth?
Yes, my first question had to do with the HVAC system. I know that we are still working through how to operate the HVAC system. And I know that there was changes and my question is kind of twofold. If we have to change the original operating plan of the HVAC system, how is that going to impact annual costs to run the building? That's my first question. And then second, if we are running it in a much more different fashion that requires a lot more energy, does that impact lead and any other lifespan issues, and things like that. And then on a related note, the solar, when does the solar start kicking in to help with those costs?
So your first two questions, I think they're good questions. Let's finalize the new sequence of operations, find out that in fact it works, and then I think we ask those questions. You know, does this impact energy use? Does it impact our lead status? But let's find out exactly what those changes are going to be. They haven't really settled on them yet. I think they're very close. I think they're very close to figuring out what that is. As far as the solar panels, I don't know that we have a date yet. But when they do get installed, eventually what happens is essentially we're paying less per kilowatt hour. So
Okay.
whatever estimate was put into the model, the energy model, I imagine it could easily be, figured out, okay, we're only paying X instead of Y per kilowatt hour. And then it, would go into the overall operating budget that way.
Okay. We're already planning for next budget year, so hence these questions. And then I just wanted to say that we have always, the library staff has always thought of the building project as a 2 library buildings project. And I hope that the community continues to see that. I had a lot of people at the ribbon cutting who still haven't visited McMahon Wittenberry Library. And while this week might not be the best week to come, we really hope that you come and experience the totality of our library system, because both libraries are very different, but I think that we, as a building committee and a community, has come up with a really great solution to doing our best to serve the entire community. And I think that that is one of the biggest takeaways, and we all get a lot of kudos for making sure that that happens. So I'm so proud of both building projects, and I'm excited for what's to come forward. And then I also just wanted to give a shout out to Allison and Chris. They've been really doing a lot of double time in terms of administrative tasks, and also making sure to document everything that needs to be documented accordingly for the building project and communicate effectively with Downs and all the other players. And Joe as well, helping us to stay on task, and all the town players, Glenn, Matt, everyone who's helped move this project along. There's a lot of unsung heroes, and I'm just very thankful for everybody who's helped us get here. And again, as Patrick was saying, we can't wait for the soft opening. Stay tuned, and I hope the public understands that as soon as we are ready, it's going to happen. The doors will be open. So thank you for everyone to helping us to get there.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Project closeout is unfortunately usually a bit painful. So I think we're doing okay. Lois.
Could you just give me the background on the HVAC issue?
The system is not adequately dehumidifying the building. And so they've been resequencing or suggesting resequencing of, there's a lot of variables. The sensors and the dampers and how much outside air actually comes in. You can't just close up the building and air condition it like we do with our cars and our houses. You have to bring in a certain amount of fresh air. So they're just working through all that, and there's been a tremendous amount of time and effort being put in by the mechanical engineer and the mechanical contractor and Downs to resequence exactly how that happens in order to make that work. So there's just a lot of things that can be tweaked, to get it all right.
But we're not talking about changing it. We're talking about tweaking it, right?
At this point, correct. Yes. Yeah, we're pretty far down the road, actually. So it seems hopeful that there's that it's going to work. Just got to figure out. It's all computerized now. So getting it all with the sensors and Yeah, they're very complicated, very complicated. It's not like the old days, I turn it on and off. Um,
Yeah, and Lois, that's why we earlier said that currently in the building in both public and staff areas, there's dehumidifier machines all through it. So it's a very visible thing when you come into the library.
We'll go to another, well, that's fine. I agree. I mean, you're buying a brand
Oh,
new car. I'm gonna get
Matt, we
that.
can hear you. Matt, we can hear you.
All right, anything else from committee members? All right, thank you, everybody. Next meetings are scheduled for October 15th and then November 12th. But as I said before, if we need to add special meeting, these are actually all special meetings now. If we need to add meetings, no problem. If we need to, especially, in regards to a soft opening, Elizabeth, if there's things we need to discuss to help that along, great. We can have a meeting on a, 24 hours notice or 48? 24 hours notice. And we'll try and give everybody as much notice as possible, obviously, so we can get a quorum. But I'm not hesitant to add more meetings. Just trying to be realistic here about paying bills and so forth. All right. With that, members of the public, any comments? Raise your hands. No hands. Thank you for joining us. I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Ike, second by Mr. Berman. I say that in my sleep, All in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.